Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddie and this is going to be a really fun but really challenging video for me. So I'm going to be tier ranking all of my 5-star reads. That's a lot of books. I'm going to go all the way back to 2021 when I started my booktube channel. So 2021, 2, 3, and now 2024. So this year I've had 9 5 stars. Last year I had 11. 2022, I think I had 21 5 stars. In 2021, I had 27 5-star books. Granted, most of those were the Sarah J. Maas books, which I did not include in this video because I feel like that's just too many to go through. I'm a little nervous because I feel like pitting my favorite books against each other is a little tough. It's gonna be a weird challenge to kind of see where these 5 stars land, but I just want to have fun in this video, so let's go. First, to go over the ranking system that I have going on, I kept it really simple, but the first one is going to be my 6-star reads. Like these, without a doubt, I have no question in my mind that I rated this incorrectly. Like this is 5 stars for sure. The next tier is going to be I stand by my word. These are a solid 5-star. Might not be a 6-star, but they're still 5-star. Like I'm not changing my rating at all. Then we have a reread is probably needed, just because I feel like most 5 stars I want to reread. Like all of these books I would consider rereading right now, but some of them might be like a 4. So really I just need to reread it to really make sure it's a 5-star. But if I do reread it, it could get a different rating. Then we have maybe a 4-star, but in the moment, it was a 5-star. Some of the books that I read in 2021, I probably wouldn't consider 5-star reads now, but in 2021, I was so new to this reading journey that I started on, and I think my view and my opinions on reading and books has changed so much in the past few years that yeah, I think my opinion would probably change, but in the moment, I can understand why it was 5 stars. Then we just have what was I thinking? Like I definitely would reread this and not give it 5 stars. There are probably quite a few of those. All right, so let's get into it. I like how I said I didn't include Sarah J. Maas, and this is the first one because I read it this year. Let's just get this one out of the way. House of Flame and Shadow. I stand by my word on this one because I liked it for what it was. I thought it made sense in the moment and for the story and for Bryce, and I'm excited to see where this book goes for her other series. Like I think this one's gonna have a big impact on her other ones. I feel like this is kind of like a in-between Tower of Dawn kind of feeling book. Like you need to read it, but it's not gonna be like the most earth-shattering book you ever read. Then we have Us Against You by Frederick Backman. I feel like a lot of these are gonna fall in the same like category. Let me readjust, get comfy. Okay, I stand by my word because I read it this year. It's still fresh in my brain. These characters are so flawed that it's hard not to love this book and this series and these people. So I definitely stand by my word on that one. It's a solid 5-star book. Song of Achilles, I'm gonna say maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5 because this book blew up on TikTok. I actually did a reading vlog with this book. Please don't go watch any of my old reading vlogs. I feel like I'm a way better vlogger now, but I did a reading vlog on this one, and the quotes and the feelings that it gave me were definitely 5-star, but looking back, I actually don't really remember a lot from this book. I do remember certain snippets and like the end, and you know, I remember certain parts, but for a 5-star, I feel like I need to remember a lot for it to be a 5-star, and I don't. So maybe a 4-star, but I would really need to go back and see if that's true. Verity. Honestly, what was I thinking giving this book 5 stars? I get it. It had its moment. Like, it did. I think that Colleen Hoover had her moment. But I don't know if I would enjoy all of her books now. So I don't know what I was thinking. Probably, like, realistically now, that book would probably be like a 3.5, 4-star. Especially now that I've read more mystery thriller kind of books, this one would definitely be a 3.5 or 4-star. Now, The Graham Effect, I also read this year. Actually, I'm gonna put this in a reread is needed because after reading The Dixon Rule, which we'll get to soon, that was a 5-star for me. Like that was a true 5-star. We'll get there soon. But The Graham Effect, I probably need to reread it because I didn't love it as much as The Dixon Rule. It just kept getting better and better. So I think this one, I would need to reread it and kind of reassess. I'm guessing it would probably be like a 4 or 4.5 because I still really remember liking this one, but I don't know if it's 5-star. Like it might be 4.5. And a reread would be really helpful. Then we have Scythe, and I'm gonna say maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5. Again, I really enjoyed this whole series, and I thought it was so unique, and just like the characters really gripped me. I was really into the plot and the world. The dystopian world on this one really was messed up, but neat, like in a cool way. But I don't know if it's 5-star. Like, I think if I read it now, it probably wouldn't be a 5-star. Iron Flame, I'm gonna stand by my word. I had a great time reading Iron Flame, so come at me. It's not the best quality writing, I understand, but she's a Colorado Springs girl just like I am. I gotta support Rebecca. I'm digging it. I like it. The Love Hypothesis, a reread is needed because I did a video recently. It was the first and favorites video that I did, and I was like, I first read Ali Hazelwood with The Love Hypothesis when it blew up, but I said that was my favorite, but I wasn't sure because I've read so many Ali Hazelwoods since then. So I don't know if this is still a 5-star because I'm like, I've read so many from her and none of them have gotten 5 stars besides this one. So was I just new to this genre of romance and then I was like handing out 5 stars left and right? I don't know. The Love Hypothesis, a reread is needed. I think I would still really like it. Would it be a 5-star? I'm not sure. Every Summer After. I'm gonna say What Was I Thinking? This one is so controversial. Oh my god. And like Carly Fortune, her books have not been the best for me. And I gave this one 5-star probably for the shock factor due to the end. Like the end really changes my opinion and perspective on these. And I think that the end just shocked me so much that I was like, what just happened? That was great. I love it when a book can do that to me. What Was I Thinking? You know, I don't even think I would give it like a 4-star if I reread it. I don't know. Just for the Summer. I read that this year, 6 stars. Absolutely. Again, I've said this so many times in videos. I think this is gonna be my like top 3 books of the year. I'm so excited to see like what this book does to me a few years from now, like when I do want to reread this book, because I just want to take a pen and a highlighter and some tabs to it so bad. Manacled, I stand by my word. I was gonna say 6-star, but I don't quite think it was 6-star. I think that there were elements of it that I was obsessed with. I soaked up every single word. I was really enjoying this book. And as messed up as this book is, and as much as it crushes my Harry Potter, Hufflepuff love and heart, Draco can get it, you guys. Draco can get it. He's a dick, but I mean, like, I love him, so. Heartless by Elsie Silver. I think I stand by my word on that one because I really like, wasn't he a single dad? She was the nanny. Yeah, that's a good trope for me. I like that. Then we have Jade Legacy, 6-star. I was gonna say stand by my word, but I think that whole series, the emotions that I had reading this book, I think I vlogged this one as well. I bawled my eyes out while reading Jade Legacy. Like, it was so good. Actually, Jade City is probably one of the series that I recommend the most to people. It's really slow, so a lot of people probably don't like it right off the bat, but you get so attached to these characters and this world is so unique. I absolutely adored. Then we have Wait for It by Mariana Zapata. Any Mariana Zapata, I'm sorry, like, I stand by my word by them. Her books are crack. Her books are so addictive. They're like 600 plus pages for a romance, but you are sucked in from the very, very beginning. Her main female characters I get so easily attached to, and her main male characters are always the grumpiest men that have a soft spot for the main female character that you have a soft spot for. So it's just a combo that like I can never resist. Chris and Hannah, The Nightingale. This one, The Nightingale is a 6-star. I think that was one of the first historical fictions that I read too, so I think it just has a special place in my heart, and I cannot wait to read The Women by her. Say You Swear, I'm gonna say a reread is needed because she has a new one coming out. Don't remember what it's called. I think it comes out in October or November this year, and it's the second one to Say You Swear, and I think I loved that book, but I could not tell you a single thing about it, and I think it's because there were so many characters. There were obviously our main 2 characters, but there was also a love triangle, so there's a third, but then there's also a friend group and family members. Like, it is the most side characters in a romance novel ever that I need to reread it because I really do forget what happened. Finley Donovan is killing it. I'm gonna say maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5. I die laughing at these books. I think they are so funny. Finley Donovan is a mom, and she's also a serial killer, or like a contract killer, and I think it's so goofy. Those two scenarios like don't fit together, but she makes it work so well. It's like 4.5, makes a lot of sense to me now, but right when I finished it I was like, that was great, 5 stars. You know, it was just kind of like I handed the 5 stars to that one. Waking Olivia, I stand by my word on. That is one of the most unique romances I've ever read, with the whole scenario that Olivia is in and what is going on with her and her sleep schedule. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's the funniest. It's not even funny. It's kind of sad because Olivia goes through a lot, but like, it was so unique. It's a little extra, but that's why I loved it. Reckless by Elsie Silver, I read this year. Reckless surprised me because it's not a trope that I usually like, and I don't want to like say anything to spoil it if you haven't read it, and I don't really love grumpy female main characters, but Winter in this is really grumpy, but it's different. It was so endearing and sweet, and like really sad on Theo's part. Like, I felt so bad for him. Daisy Jones in the Six. This is a 6-star for me. I think the quotes and the love that I had for the characters, and I thought the interview style was unique. It's not just the plot that I loved in this one, but it's the writing style. I kind of have hits and misses with her, but I really enjoyed Daisy Jones. The Right Move, 6-star. This one changed romance for me and how I view romance. Like, Mile High was great by Liz Tom Ford. The Right Move was even better, and I think Indy and Ryan will forever be one of my favorite romance combos. I think that their personalities didn't clash, and there was a lot of good chemistry. The smut was great. Dobie's barking downstairs. Don't know if the camera can hear that or not. One of my favorite sports romances of all time. Not even just sports romance, but one of my favorite romances. Spark of the Everflame. I read that this year. Now, listen. I think I'm going to say it's maybe a 4-star. Oh my god, I loved Spark of the Everflame. Let me tell you that, okay? I loved it. The first book was set up so well, and I loved it so much. And then the second and the third book, I think I gave 4 stars, and I feel like that's kind of realistic for the first book as well. I think I was just like, I had finally found a nice romantasy after months of not having a good one. That Spark of the Everflame definitely impressed me, but I don't know if it would be a 5-star now, and this was just a few months ago, so that's kind of shocking. The War of Two Queens by Jennifer Armentrout. This is like book 4, I think, in the From Blood and Ash series, and I'm gonna say in the moment it was a 5-star. All of these I need to reread. Can you tell? I need to reread every single one. I don't really even have words to say about that book. I think Jennifer Armentrout's writing is super easy and fun, and I'm gonna just go through and do a light of, what is that even called? A shadow in the ember. A light in the flame. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm going to put that in maybe a 4-star as well. I loved Serafina, that spinoff series. Poppy pissed me off sometimes. So those 2 books and that whole series with the spinoff series, I would need to kind of reread and dive back into because I don't really remember much. A lot happens in those books, like a lot. Fourth Wing, I stand by my word, just like Iron Flame, because I did do a reread of Fourth Wing when Iron Flame came out, and I gave it 5 stars again. I think that it's just so entertaining and so fun, and again, I can talk about the writing and we can talk about how like quality it is, all you want. I still loved the characters and everything, so that's just my opinion. The Ninth Reign, don't even remember this book. I'm gonna say, what was I thinking? I think it's like sci-fi fantasy based. I have the second book and have never read it. I would be really interested in picking this back up. If it would load, that would be great. It would be so great if it loaded. Thank you. Okay. A booktuber was talking about it in a video, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me pick it up. And like, there's no US copies, so it took like 3 weeks to get to me. So then when I did pick it up, it wasn't what I expected, but it was not bad. It's high fantasy. I don't think it was 5 stars even in the moment though. Like, I think when I was reading it, I felt like really cool because it was a high fantasy book, and it was like the first high fantasy book that I'd ever read, and I was like, yeah, that was 5 stars. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I stand by my word. That's a 5-star, 100%. I loved the interview style of that book and the characters and the little twist. It wasn't really like a surprising twist, but it definitely fell in love with the characters even more and just the depth, and I thought it was beautiful. So all roads lead here. Mariana, I gotta say I stand by my word. Her books are crack. That's all I gotta say. Six of Crows. This might be controversial, but maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5. Don't get mad at me. I need to reread that really bad. It might go in a reread is needed. That's what I'm going to say. A reread is needed on Six of Crows because I know that it's a good book. I know that it's a great book. I do genuinely think it would still be 5 stars, but again, I don't want to say that right now. Ready Player One, maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5. I loved this dystopian world and I thought it was so fun. It was definitely different and not a book that I actually had planned on reading at all. It was available on Libby one day and I was in the car driving and I was like, I have nothing to listen to. Let me pop this on, and I listened to it in one day. Like, it was so fast-paced, so easy to get into, and the character was really fun to follow along with on his journey. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I read this year, and I'm gonna say I stand by my word. I would say 6-star, but it doesn't quite give me that feeling. Like, it was a great book, and I was so shocked that I loved this book as much as I did. Fine print, I'm gonna say, what was I thinking? Because I think I liked the second book better, and I gave the second book 4 stars. So it doesn't make sense that I gave the fine print, the first book, 5 stars. Like, that just doesn't make sense at all. So I would need to reread that to make sure. Maybe I'll do a vlog on just rereading all of my 5 stars because I need to. Legendborn, I don't remember this one a lot. I remember it was set in Chapel Hill, and that's where my stepdad went. So I grew up going to Chapel Hill for like football games and stuff. So I'm gonna say a reread is needed, mostly because I don't remember much about the characters or what's going on. I think there's a love triangle going on in like a cult-ish vibe kind of setting. Like, I can't really remember. Icebreaker, you know what? I stand by my word on that one. I stand by my word. Coming after Legendborn, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Because I know Legendborn is good and I gave it 5 stars for a reason. I just need to refresh. Where Icebreaker, I remember a lot from Icebreaker and I genuinely had a good time reading that one. Good Girl, Bad Blood. I'm gonna say maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5. Now the next book on here, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I stand by my word. That was a powerful first book that led into a great series. But I don't remember A Good Girl's Bad Blood. A Good Girl, Bad Blood. What is that? Because As Good as Dead, I think I gave like 4 stars. Oh no, I gave that 5 stars too. It's right here. Let's grab that one. As Good as 5 stars, or As Good as 5 stars. As Good as Dead, maybe a 4, but in the moment it was 5 because I was just like on a high of this series. Come on, there you go. And I was loving it. But again, like, the series as a whole is a 5-star series for me. The Score by Elle Kennedy, that's Dean, and I think I love that one. I'm gonna say I stand by my word just because I remember. Nope. I'm gonna say a reread. A reread is needed, but I don't really want to reread that one. Is that a sign? Is that a sign that that's not a 5-star? Because I don't really want to reread that. Like, I have no interest in rereading it, so that just means that it's probably not a 5-star. We have Culty by Mariana Zapata. Stand by my word. Actually, that might be a 6-star. No, we'll get there. Okay, Culty, stand by my word. Mariana Zapata, no explanation needed. It Starts With Us. I'm gonna say, what was I thinking? Because I don't think that's 5-star worthy. Like, I can say that right now. I know that's not 5-star worthy, but I would need to reread and adjust. Serpent in the Wings of Night. I'm going to say, stand by my word. Actually, there was a little bit of hesitation there. Did you see that? I'm going to say a reread is needed because the new book comes out soon. The 3rd book in this series, I think in November, so I definitely want to reread it. I think Beartown is 6-star. I loved, again, Frederick Bachman gets me. This town is struggling and going through so much, but like, what side of the town would you fall on? And it really makes you think. There's a big moral compass thing in there. I loved it. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, also, I think is 6-star. I love a grouchy man. He was kind of a bully, actually. He was kind of mean. Oh well. The Dixon Rule, 6-star. As of right now, this book, just like Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, The Dixon Rule, probably top 3, top 5 of this year. I adored that book. The plot, third act conflict, like everything was spot on. The kinks, the smut, so beautifully done and kind of like classy. The smut wasn't classy, the smut was spicy, but it was classically done. That makes no sense. This video is going on 30 minutes right now and I'm getting a little loopy, I'm not gonna lie. Crooked Kingdom, a reread is needed, kind of like Six of Crows. If Six of Crows needs a reread, then the Crooked Kingdom needs a reread. Scarred, stand by my word. Emily McIntyre, she knows how to do it. She knows how to write spice. This one had less spice and more plot, which I really enjoyed, and I loved the Lion King retelling. Like, that was really neat. House in the Cerulean Sea, a reread is needed. I know that I loved that book, and I think it genuinely is a 5-star, but I would like to reread it just to make sure. But that book overall, adorable. Archer's Voice, what was I thinking? Might have had a really cute and unique plot in kind of like a small town setting, and it's all the tropes that I like, but I don't think it would at all be even close to a 4-star. Hook, Line, and Sinker, I stand by my word. I still remember so many aspects of this book. In the first book, It Happened One Summer, I really enjoyed as well, but Hook, Line, and Sinker, I was connected to the main male so much. This main male character is one of my favorites. I love him. Empire of the Vampire, stand by my word. I was gonna say 6-star, but I need to reread that one as well because I want to read Empire of the Damned. How many times in this video have I said reread? The Unhoneymooners, I stand by my word. I thought that one was so fun and so goofy, and it's the only Christina Lauren book that I've given 5 stars. So, A Man Called Ove, stand by my word. That guy, he's so sweet. Such a grouchy old man, and I love him. Now, An Ember in the Ashes by Salva Tahir, what was I thinking? Because I DNF'd that series. I DNF'd the second book. I did not like it. I think I wanted to like it a lot, and this was one of the first YA fantasy books that I read. People We Meet on Vacation, a reread is needed, and this is only because I really just want to reread some Emily Henry books. Like, I'm kind of craving a reread of her books right now, and People We Meet on Vacation would need a reread, but that one still is my favorite Emily Henry book that I've read, and I think to make sure I would have to reread it. November 9, I've reread this twice, and I gave it 5 stars each time. I was a sucker for it. But I think now it was a 5-star in the moments that I read it, but now it probably would not be. I'm way more pickier with my romances, but for how short this one is, it had its moment. It had its moment. The Kiss Quotient as well. This one also had its moment. So I'm gonna say maybe a 4-star, but in the moment it was 5 because I think, oop. Now, A Walk to Remember, this one I watched the movie so many times growing up, but this one I read a few years ago. I think I stand by my word on that one just because of how freaking sweet that book is. And I haven't read any other Nicholas Sparks books before. I should do that. I stood by my word on most of them. That's a pretty good amount. Let's do a count. You ready? 29 of the books I'm confident about that they deserve 5 stars or more. 28 books. Oh my god, that's quite literally almost so split in half. I love that. I did pretty good. 50% I would definitely stand by my rating, and then the other half I would not. But a lot of those books I read years ago, so I would need to reread it anyway to adjust my rating. Honestly, that was a lot of fun. Really hard, I'm not gonna lie, because it's books that I've rated 5 stars pretty confidently, at least in the past, and now I'm like, yeah, most of those, half of those, quite literally half of those, I probably should readjust and reread, and that's a wake-up call. So maybe I'll do a whole video where I just reread multiple videos, because that's a lot of books, where I just reread my 5 stars and make sure that they're 5 stars. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and like if you want to support me. Comment down below if you agree with any of these 5 stars or if you disagree, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.